With body shaming, people have preference, and I don't know. It used to bother me, but I'm just there like I don't really care now. Like you can call me dude, like don't do it. Man, it doesn't do shit to me.
Your first sentences was body shaming. People don't owe you nothing.
True.
Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay.
They don't
Yeah.
owe you anything. You don't feel the need to be. I mean, if I am going to be bothered with what people think and when they body shame me all the time and I just take that at home and cry myself, is that helping with anything? No. So why am I being bothered by it?
I think that's it, bro. I can end the live now and kind of that's the solution. Man, I don't know. I don't understand it. It's these terms that I don't know where these terms come from. It's almost like someone sits there with a notepad and kind of just pencils out all these terms for people to become part of stuff. You know, it's like a group thing that these people kind of make so that they like people can fit into a category and then name it something, and then people will then feel entitled or feel victimized, and then in turn start victimizing other people, and then it becomes such a it actually loses integrity, because in the beginning when it happens everyone's like on it. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is what I felt this whole time, like people are body shaming me, people are this, people like that, people like this. And then like someone rocks up one day, and then someone rocks up, and then you say, for instance, I start jogging, or I don't start jogging, and then I'm just eating this whole time, and then I get big, right? Then all of a sudden, if last month someone wasn't telling me about my weight, and this month they're telling me about my weight, and all of a sudden I'm going to be body shamed. But then what if I will feel body shame? But then what happens then if in a month's time I start training and then I lose weight, and then they say to me, hey, you've lost a lot of weight. Is that also body shaming? Is that positive body shaming? Is it negative body shaming? What is it then?
It's just someone sees that you've lost weight. Man, come on. When it comes to this, I just feel like us as big girls, we want to be treated special. And honestly speaking, no one owes us anything. I mean, if someone thinks you're fat, you are fat. I mean, your health is at risk, yes. So if you feel like you're comfortable in your body and your health is perfect, so be it. If you feel like you need to hit the gym so that you can be in a healthy state, be it. Do whatever that makes you happy. Stop living up to standards that people set for you. No.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, man. Because when you think about it, like body shaming is it's a term that's used. It's like it's a term used that represents a small minority, or a small minority of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you actually break it up, it actually represents the whole world, because then you can be body shamed because you're big. I can be body shamed because I am not as tall or not as big as a regular person, or as a regular man, for example. Or someone else can be body shamed because they have big ears. Someone else can be body shamed because they have a pimple. Then it's like, oh, actually, this whole thing is actually pretty broad. It's not just about a certain type of person. It's like anyone that has a body is then able to be body shamed. And what makes you feel special that it's about being big or being small or being... It's like, where do you get that entitlement from? Where do you get that victimization level from, to feel as though that, oh no, because me, I am big, and people say that I am big, and then they mention that to me and I feel offended, then I feel that they're body shaming me. It's like, you're not as important as we think we are, because then you can lose weight, and then what? Then they're going to say to you, oh my gosh, you've lost weight. Are they still body shaming you?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it comes, as you've said, it's like when you have a body, you are going to be shamed at some point. So even the media, it makes it, I don't know, it makes it seem like it's okay because you get a group of big girls empowering themselves, and then you get the slim girls empowering themselves, and you get people with acne empowering themselves.
Exactly.
You know, now different groups now.
Yeah, and it goes back to like this identity politics thing. It's like a big like blanket, and then we sort ourselves up into small little teams. You know, this then. So it's all about gender, right? I'm male, you're female. Now we're fighting against each other, and then depending on next week, what are we going to fight about? Then, oh, the next week we're going to fight about the fact that then now you're transgender and you're cisgender, and then we separate even more, and then it's that fight versus that fight, and then oh, where do I fit in? And then you know what I mean? It's exactly the same as that. It's all these identity politics that define who we are as humans, and then the more you break it up, you find that then we're all different in different ways, you know, and we all have our negatives and we all have our positives. So when you say someone else is privileged to be a man, for example, you are privileged to be a woman in other things. You know, same with color, same with age, same with so many things. But it's like it's weird that we only focus on certain things when it pertains to you. So you find that there's like a big boost of like it's like you go on social media these days and you see people posting half naked pictures of themselves, and then it's like, okay, to what point does this become like naked type of, you know, erotic type stuff, or does it become something that's acceptable? You know, and it's, I mean, as a society, it's something, that conversation that we need to have, because then those type of things then determine how people are going to act or react towards you. Because then it's like, you can't show someone something that they might react a certain way and then become surprised when they react that certain way. You know what I mean? You have to have these conversations, these uncomfortable convos, where then we can say, oh no, we've decided that the way that this way that it is not the way, it's this way. If you can't decide that, then the lines are always going to be blurred, and then we're always going to be pointing fingers. No, just because I'm wearing a skirt doesn't mean this, this, and that. It's like, okay, fine, fair enough. But then you find that then maybe that skirt is short to someone else. Maybe to someone else it's not too short. Same with a guy. It's like he could be wearing a jacket or not wearing a jacket. He could be wearing a V-neck or not wearing a V-neck. It's like it gets very blurred depending on which side of the fence you're sitting on, and then people have their kind of own opinions, you know, and and then you find that then people have their own opinions based on what they feel as what they're victimized in. So again, like I say, because then a disabled person can say they're victimized, because then there's not a lot of ramps in the world, for example, for wheelchair users. You understand what I'm saying? Then it's like, well, then they can have a say as well. And then when I say they, I can go tomorrow and become a wheelchair user, and then I'm part of they.
You know, it's funny because it's like when you're confident in the body that you're in, it's like you have to prove it. And I don't understand that concept that, okay, if I'm comfortable with being big, I'm supposed to now wear revealing clothes or bikinis just to prove a point that I'm confident. No, I don't have to. If I'm content with myself and someone comes for me and be like, oh my God, why are you wearing this and that? I can be like, listen, hey bro, I bought this with my money. You can't tell me shit.
Yeah, I think also, like I said, a lot of it is like a victim mentality that we have, that like if it's hurting me, then what you're doing is wrong. And it's like, maybe you feeling hurt is what's wrong, but you never want to do that. You see, it's always about, if I feel something out of place, then that place is wrong. And it's like, no, maybe that place is right, and you're the person that's wrong, and you need to fix yourself. You know, the world is not there to
this guy. Wow. There's better network here.
But yeah, it just goes how much you're willing to help people, man. But anyway, so yeah, it's like you whatever you feel that you're a victim in, then it's easier for you to then play that role. As soon as you then feel that you're not a victim, then you don't want to play the game anymore. You see, so it's it's classic. It's classical things of like, if it's a male and female fight, because that's like, you know, one of the most common things. Male and female fight, and then females say, hey, there's the patriarchy. You know, there's more men in high-end jobs, right? And it's like, okay, fine. And then the males then say, okay, well, you know what? There's more females in primary schools or in kindergartens. So then does that make matriarchy? Then it's like, no, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about something else. You know what? So, yeah, so again, it's like, and you find that actually everywhere in life there's just inequalities like that. And inequalities like that sometimes are necessary. It's not like a lot of men want to be in kindergarten. Maybe they just don't want to be. That's why they're not. You know, same with engineers. Maybe that's why engineers are mostly male, because they just want to be there. That's just the way that things happen sometimes. So certain inequalities are there and they're necessary. Others, yes, we need to talk about. But it's not to say that because now if you're feeling victimized or you feel as though that you're not comfortable with where you're in, that the other people that it's the other people that are making you uncomfortable. Maybe it's yourself and it's your prejudices and your the things that you kind of have brewed up inside you that you haven't solved yet. Maybe the fact that you took offense when you were a child about you being body shamed is the reason now that you feel that when everyone talks about weight, you feel that you're body shamed. Maybe then if you go and solve that, and you go and solve those issues that you have about yourself, then you find that then you don't then care about people that body shame you. You know, so
Yo, Kanya, I know.
yeah.
But honestly, I think in terms of that, how I overcame it, I don't know if it's going to help someone there, but how I overcame not giving, literally, not even caring about people body shaming me. I saw it as we all have types when it comes to men. So when a certain guy comes and hit on me, I'm not going to be rude, but I'm going to be like, and bye, right? But I have the certain type that I go for, right? So now, if I'm big and the negative ones come at me, why should I react? Why? Because they're taking their own time and their own energy to come for me.
Yeah.
What? I mean, am I that important that you're literally discussing me? Move, baby girl. No, it's not worth it.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel people only do that because they like the attention of it. So you find that then someone like a guy would then come to you and approach you, and then will be a certain way towards you because of how you look, and then because now you like that attention, even though it's negative, right? You then feel as though you should make it bigger than it is, you know. But then it's like, what are you then? What is your solution to that? Like, is it a problem or isn't it a problem? Like, do you want people to care or not to care? And do you care or don't you care? You know, because then again, it's just a victim mentality. Maybe you just want things to always be about you. And then you find that this is what happens with all these, you know, body shaming movements things. Is about like, sometimes these people that start these things, they just want people to kind of be around them, to group and to be a group. And then they say, okay, cool, I started it. It's about me now, you know, make whatever I'm thinking the base of everything that we're doing. And then you find that actually some people are here just because they want to know how to lose weight. And then you're like, no, you can't do that. If you do that, then you can't be part of the group. And it's like, I thought it was a plus size type group, this, or a whatever it is. And maybe a male comes into the group, then what? And it's like, hey man, I'm also plus size, so I feel as though I'm plus size, then what? And it's like, oh, actually we didn't think this through because it was always about the one person or the three people or the founders of whatever it was. Now you find that it just blossoms and then it becomes something that we don't even know anymore. And the people that are outside looking in don't even know what's going on.
You know, the problem is that when you start like us group into a certain group, being like, okay, Zandile, you are big, you deserve, you belong to this group, that becomes a problem. I've gotten comments like, my word, you're the only fat girl in the group. Because we don't clarify ourselves because of weight. Like, we don't even think of that.
Yeah.
So the moment you start grouping yourself in which category you belong to, that's the problem. You become the problem yourself.
Yeah, and you become the problem to someone else. So even then, it's like you like. So you find that maybe say a woman will body shame you, whatever the whole body shaming is, will body shame you and say that you're the biggest one in the group, right? And then you go and you lose weight, and then you don't become the biggest one in the group. Then what? Are they still body shaming you? Is someone else now going to be body shamed? Are they going to look for someone else that's going to be like it? You know what I mean? It just it loses its value. And then if you're again from the outside looking in, you're thinking, like what's going on? Like it's fine whether you're the victim, but when you're no longer the victim, then it's like I don't know what game we're talking about. Let's play another game. Let's go again. Let's go black people versus white people. Let's go, transgender versus. And it's like, then we just play these games the whole time. And then every single year, if you look at it, every single year, there's always like a this versus that. This person versus this person. That person versus this person. And we're just swapping teams and swapping games all the time.
It's true. This guy is telling the truth. Some people overdo this weight loss thing, hence the market of weight loss products is booming. The thing is, I think with plus sizes, some of them do want to lose the weight, but they're scared of, am I still going to be the plus size that they used to? Are they still going to follow me? Because sometimes it's about the likes that you get, the followers that you get. It gets to your head, and you feel like every time you're not getting enough likes, you should post a naked picture with some inspirational quote going on there.
And then it goes into a technology conversation where then you become you become your phone, you become your Instagram, you become the person that you think you are online. And then when people meet you outside and then they see you as this person, and you're like, no, I'm not like that. You don't develop your own identity personally first before you go onto a social media. You develop on social media, and then you say, oh, you know what? 1,000 people know me on social media. Yeah, 1,000 people know you as that on social media. And then when they meet you in real life, they're like, hey, well, where's the correlation? And then you don't even know the correlation either, because you've lived in both so much that you don't know who's who. And then you find that you have this sort of personalities on social media, and you have this sort of personalities. And then what happens is you have marketing companies and strategists and all these people with diet plans that look at everything and they say, you know what, all I'm trying to do is sell this product, right? I'm trying to sell this product. Who can I sell it to? Oh, I can sell it to the people that have the most followers that want to lose weight, right? Because that makes business sense. So what do I do then? I don't even agree with them, but what I'll say is that I'll support them. And then I'll put my brand as part of them. Then they sell the product, and then I go and make the money, and then they just go and argue. And before you know, Herbalife is like, the main thing in the world. And whether it works or not, half of the people don't know. Maybe you find that it doesn't work in the sense that you just use it because you train, you lose weight. Or some people, just because they train more, they lose weight. Or maybe it does work. Right, but now it's the thing of then it becomes like a team type of thing where it's like, no, but this group used it. So if this group used it, they will take the positives from that group, then they'll leave the negatives. The people that never lost weight, they're never going to show you that, So yeah, it gets very tricky, but yeah, man. And then a lot of people, like I said, as there's moving parts, a lot of people then start pushing their own agendas and start pushing their own things. And not to say that people that are selling Herbalife products are not trying to, make business and things like that. But all I'm saying is that you need to then be careful of what's going on and why it's happening. It's one thing for someone to say something to you and that they're doing something. It's another thing to actually then watch it and say, actually, no, I don't think this is what's trying to happen here. I don't think this is what's trying to happen here. When someone sells you something, for example, maybe they don't actually care whether you use it properly or not. Maybe they just want the monetary value of it, right? But then they have to sell it to you. That's what a salesperson does. They have to sell it to you so that they get that monetary value. Once you have it, now they have the money, they disappear. Whether it works for you or not, they don't know. They hope it does, but they don't know. So you have to look
You know,
after yourself.
it's funny that you mentioned that because I'm in quite a few plus size groups. I mean, if they have this thing of posting like challenges, like hey, for my size, let's post what, and the minute you post your picture, maybe you have like a small waist with like big hips, and they're like, oh my word, how do you do it? How did you lose your tummy? Ow! I thought you guys were confident with your body. Now you want to know how I lost my tummy. How's that?
Yeah, bro. See, different people they pull in their own direction and they push their own agendas. And then you find maybe sometimes that some of the people actually just want to be influencers and they want to be YouTube, whatever this thing is called, you know, and they want to get followers and make money out of this thing. So then they find that the groups that they can really infiltrate and then get into them and then get into their psyche. And then those people in those groups maybe think, oh, they have our best interests at heart. And it's like, no. They just want to then pursue their own career through stuff like this, you know, and then you're chilling there and you're like, no, man, like, I keep trying to do what they tell me to do, but nothing's happening. And it's like, because you don't have your own goals and your own perspective, you're trying to connect with other people from the outside. And as soon as you do that, then you get blinded by what you're trying to get at. Yeah. Well, so
It's true. It's true because the minute they see that you're actually losing, that's when they ask questions and whatnot. I remember last they came for this chick and they were like, but how are you plus size when you've lost so much weight? I'm like, okay, guys, what are you saying? What are you saying? I mean, guys, being big, I'm a big girl myself. Health-wise, no. No. At least, okay, there are those big girls who are healthy, right? And you get the ones that, okay, this person usafarisha from ishugela or anything of that sort. And you still want to be like, yes, plus size, no, we're not going to lose weight. How are you benefiting yourself health-wise?
mm, yeah, and you know, this is also the thing is like, you know, we start speaking about health and things like that, and then people will probably come and talk about, oh, but then how do you know if you are healthy and what is health? And it's like, listen, bro, like when you sit down and you reevaluate your life, you will know what health is. If you care about
Yeah.
it, you know what health is. If you feel when this corona happened, you knew exactly what health is. You knew exactly what it means if you can that if you're healthy and unhealthy. Now all of a sudden, just because you want to then protect a certain way that you project a certain image of yourself, you want to make yourself oblivious. So it's important to note again. It's like conversations like this become very personal before they you get to take them out on other people. So sit down with yourself, evaluate yourself, check yourself, and say, listen, if I keep doing what I'm doing now and I get to a certain age or I get to a certain time in my life, will I be happy with who I will be then? And if you're not, then why the hell are you still doing what you're doing? Then try to change it. No one forces you to change it, but you can still be that person if you want to be, you know. But then again, like I said, it's a personal thing, and most people get to that place and then they say, oh, you know what, I don't want to be here anymore. Then you find that then when are you going to start? No one's going to take you and say, let's go and do this. If you don't want it to be done, no one can ever force you to do that, you know. So again, I think a lot of these body shaming things and all these group identity politics comes with a lot of just people that harvest a lot of anger and harvest a lot of negative emotions, and then they want to bring other people with negative emotions, put them all together, and then say to them, look, we have the positive emotions, and then everyone else has the negative emotions. And then it's like, nah, then they start popping out little by little of, oh, actually, this one's actually pushing this agenda, this one's pushing this agenda, you know, all of that.
Yeah. No, you know, this guy's just making me cry.
But it's the truth. It's the truth, man. Like, yeah, a lot of people that are, you know, that come to you and then, you know, they'll tell you that, yo, no, I had a child and then I was big, but then I never thought I was big, and they never ever told me I was big because, you know, my friends were kind of afraid to tell me about that. And as I went through life, then I found out that, you know what, actually, this is like my blood pressure's like this and this is like that, and I can't even, you know, tie my laces. And then it's like, well, do you think you're big now? If you don't think you're big, then maybe you're not big. And then they're like, no, I think maybe I need to lose weight. And it's like, okay, cool. So what do you want me to do? I can't take you to gym. You need to go there. Then if you're there, then we can do stuff together. Then they go to gym, and then obviously it takes a long time. It's not just, I have another video on that on YouTube, but it takes a long time. Then after a while, you find that then as time goes by, they become happier, you know, or they then find that, oh, you know what, I've achieved a goal, I've achieved something that I never thought I would achieve, and then it becomes a biopsychosocial thing, but then it affects your mood, it affects the people around you, the decisions you make, and all those things. You know, so instead of trying to put yourself in little groups to make yourself feel better, take yourself, put yourself to the side, evaluate your life, and then, yeah, move on and stop
It
being.
basically starts with you. I think it starts with you. The minute you seek validation from the media to justify them, you want them to say that, no, you're okay just the way you are. That's when you have a problem, because you haven't done self-introspection on what you want as a person. Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to be able to tie your laces? Or are you okay? Are you okay with the body you're in? Which is totally fine. If you are okay, it's fine. But now, stop now. We end up like making them feel like shit when they want to lose weight and actually be better.
Because then who's the body? Because then can you be big and body shame another big person? Then what's going on? Is it a, you know, if you big and then you body shame a thin person, or you big and you body shame someone or a guy because of their whatever they have, you know, maybe it's not weight. Is it who's body shaming who? What happens then? Are you immune to it because of that? Like, what happens? What's the thought process? And then when you start asking questions like that, you realize how much this body shaming thing really isn't, like, it's just a, you know, it's just a tag that people put themselves into to act as victims. And like I said, nothing is easy. You go to the gym, what Chloe is saying as well, you go to the gym, you realize that it doesn't just take a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, you know? The process.
It's a big process, and you fail a lot of the time. It's like stopping anything. It's stopping alcohol, stopping drugs. It's the same thing. You find that it's not like a straight up, okay, I'm going to gym today and then I lose weight consistently throughout. It's like, it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes all the way down, and sometimes it goes but you have to keep, if you want it enough, it'll happen. And if you don't want it enough, it won't happen. It's just that simple.
And it's funny because also with the big girls, they body shame themselves among the group. Oh no, I think your stomach is bigger. Oh no, you have flabby arms. Oh no, I think my thighs are smaller than yours. Oh no, this and that. And I'm just there like, guys, why do you do this to yourself? And then now it's like, okay, you know what? Since we've identified that, okay, this group has a slimmer tummy, do they belong in the plus size group? No. You know what? Let's go for the slim ones. Oh my gosh, the slim ones have this and that. You know, it's sort of like
a lot of built up anger and a lot of built up things that masks itself as something positive, you know. So again, it's, if you sort that out and you try to, you know, have conversations with yourself and find out why you're doing certain things and be honest, and don't also surround yourselves with, you know, what do you call these people that always give you positive feedback? Try to, you know, surround yourself with people that are going to give you, well, not going to pat your back. Surround yourself with people that are going to give you positive criticism whether you like it or not. So you want someone that's going to be faithful to you and not loyal. There's a big difference there as well. If you're faithful to someone, you're going to do what is necessary for them to be happy, whether it's positive or negative, and whether they take it positively or negatively. Whether it's and then if you're loyal to them, or if you're faithful to someone, you do something for them for their own good, right? Whether it's positive or negative. If you're loyal to them, you stick around with them, even though it's positive or negative, just so that they will. Messed that up. Sorry, but yeah, I think you get what I'm saying.
I get it. I mean, it goes with surroundings. I'm big. Like, I don't know how many people I've cut off because I don't see any contribution you have towards my life. So if we always on that hype vibe, like we call each other when we have to go out, it's not a bad thing. But if I feel like you're not contributing much, you know, you're just there just for the sake of it. Yeah. I'm gonna cut you out. Like it or not, a family or friend, I cut you out. I'm just quick on that. So same with people who body shame you. You know, even friends body shame you. Why are you still with them? Why do you feel like you're entitled to them? If that makes you break down and lose your self-esteem, why are you still surrounding yourself with them?
Yeah.
Let them go.
Again, like I said, it's a difference between people that are loyal and people that are Yeah, people that are loyal and people that are faithful. A person that is faithful will say, listen, this is a mutual thing. A person that is loyal is going to say, man, whatever happens, I don't care if you cheat me badly or not badly, I'll still be there. Right? And you can't surround yourself with just loyal people. People need to be faithful to you. It needs to be
Yeah.
a reciprocating thing. It's back and forth. And as soon as it's not like that, then one person is benefiting and one person isn't. And that's why people stay in certain relationships like that, where they don't know anything else. You know what even happens? Even with these modeling agencies, they say we're coming to you because we notice that you are a big girl and you're perfect for our modeling agency. And you say, okay, perfect, nice. I want to make a bit of money, so let me be part of it. Now, sharp. Then they say, okay, well, obviously the criteria is for you to be big, and it just so happens that you're pretty as well. Cool. Then you go and you model, right? And then you find that maybe, man, I'm actually getting bigger and bigger now because now I need to kind of maintain this weight or get bigger instead of get smaller, because then I won't be in this modeling agency, right? And then you find at some point you're like, actually, you know what? Nah, I need to lose some weight. And then the modeling agencies will come and say, hey, don't forget what the image is about. And then you're like, well, wait, which image is more important? Is it yours as the personal person, or is it the agency's, right? And then you get challenges like that, and you get people that then get in situations like that where they say, well, now I actually need to maintain being big or be bigger, even though it's detrimental to my health, so that then I can be in these agencies. And then you find out that these big girls get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then they're like, well, I'm just modeling for the agency, modeling for the agency. And their health is just deteriorating the whole time. And they don't know how to balance because they don't have their own goal sets for themselves. And this is what happens in life as well. It happens in jobs, is that your psyche then decreases, but then you're like, yeah, but I love what I'm doing, and it's like, yeah, but do you really? And then at some point you're like, oh no, maybe I don't love who I am, and then you just crash.
It's true. I mean, as soon as with these modeling agencies, it's tricky because I make it clear if someone comes to me and is like, okay, Zambi, I want us to do something, and the minute I ask you, are you going to expect me to expose my body in maybe swimsuits or some lingerie? Oh yeah, this is just a photo shooting. I'm not going to do it. Trust.
And again, this is what I'm saying. You have to understand with all these group things and all of these things that keep coming to you is what is their objective. You need to understand that their objective might be completely different to yours, or they might be aligned. And if you understand that, then you understand what you need to do in it. Because as soon as their objective might be, look, let's just make her seem like some piece of meat. And to you, it's like, oh no, I'm trying to show people that, I'm sexy. Then it's like, nah, we're not trying to show that. And then you find that then when people objectify you and they see you as a piece of meat, you don't understand. And it's like, yeah, because you didn't understand what they were actually trying to do for you. You see, so then you start getting, texts and things and messages about like why you're always posting that. You find a lot of women and even guys are posting naked and things like that. And then they, people come and they want to be like, hey, what's up? Like, hit you up all the time. And you're like, hey, why are these people hitting me up? And it's like, because you're naked. Like, people are attracted, to things like that. So now when they get attracted, it's a problem. How? If you're going to show them what they're attracted to, how much of a problem is it? And if it is a problem, then we need to set boundaries, right? Because we can't have, because then where are the boundaries? Because then is it porn on the one side, and then what's on the other side then? Is there a blurred line in between? What happens then? And these are conversations that we don't have, because then it's like, oh no, these are touchy subjects. It's like,
exactly, we run away from them.
That's why we should have them, because they're touchy. And then once we touch them and then find boundaries, then we can know where left and right is. But as soon as we don't know, they will still be touchy. They will be more touchy as time goes by, because no one knows where the line is.
It's funny because, someone told me, hey, I don't show enough skin. And I was like, okay, so does showing enough skin mean you're sexy? And I should post it and everyone sees it out there. Does it make sense?
Yeah, and then especially in social media, man, like, it's so powerful, this thing. It's it's beyond powerful sometimes. I don't even think we understand how much damage or good it does. It can do, it can do damage. It can do a lot of good things, but I think just like life, it's the same thing. Life can do a lot of damage. It can do a lot of good things. It depends how you want to take it and what you want to take out of it. So, posting all these things and trying to do what's best for you, or what's best for someone else, it's like, how much does it take out of you? If you want to post yourself and, do all these things on half naked, or, again, guys and girls and whatever it is, it's okay. What are you benefiting from it? Are you getting anything from it? And whatever you're getting, is it worth it? Is it worth what you're trying to achieve? And if it's not, then why are you doing it? And those are the kind of questions you always just have to ask, man.
I mean, I feel like also the media. I mean, I don't know if you've seen on Instagram. Instagram is like literally soft porn.
I don't even use it.
There's like there's boobs everywhere, and they're like, the minute, and they actually confessed. I remember seeing a documentary about celebs that being famous is actually very addictive, because the minute you're not getting the likes that you're expecting, that's where you start taking off your clothes, and you're like, oh, maybe I should just more cleavage, or maybe I should buy something new so that they can recognize me, And it's funny because, I mean, someone is going to hit you up and be like, oh, hey, I care about you so much. No, they've just seen your ass and they just want to smash.
Yeah, it's, the power, like I said, the power of social media, man, it works on parts of the brain that we don't even know about, especially on Instagram. On Instagram, a picture paints 1,000 words. And that's why Instagram is so user-friendly, because you don't have to kind of interact. You scroll, you like, you scroll, you like, you see what you like, and that just gets implanted in your brain. And there's so many mixed, there's so many signals that you're getting that you don't even comprehend. It's like advertising. Sometimes you look at something like video, like YouTube, you look at something, you don't realize it, and you move on. But then if you have a choice between that something and something else that you haven't seen, you'll always pick that something, because in your brain you've already recognized it. And that's what happens on social media. It's that then you go and then you like, and you're tapping all these things, and you're tapping. And then you find that actually every time that you get a like, every time that you get a comment on something, then you're on your phone again. Then you're on your phone, and then these companies then say, you know what, let's figure out what makes this person on our website or on our social media. Maybe it's the views, maybe it's the likes, maybe it's the comments, right? So what we do is every time there's a comment, we let him know, we give him a notification, but then we don't give him the whole notification. He has to go on the app. So then you find that you have to scroll down, and it says, oh, this person liked your comment. Okay, what is it? And then you go on, and as soon as you go on there, now all of a sudden then they can advertise everything to you. And that comment wasn't even something of value, for instance, and then you like it, and then they sell you something else. Oh, this, and then yeah. So, and then these things, that's how you find that then people get depressed, because then again, like we said, they become their social media. Then you find that there's high rates of suicide amongst teenagers because of this. That's why they make filters. That's why they made all these things to say, oh, you know what, you don't like your pimple? Go on, take a selfie of yourself and then change it and then post it. And then before you know it, you have 500 likes, 800 likes. Then automatically in your mind, 800 people like me. That has never, ever happened ever in my physical existence.